So we had enough. Next year, we will have enough, and we're going to be right back in the same situation, and we're going to get it done.
Jimmy, as one of your
This was May 29th, 2022, after the Celtics defeated the Miami Heat on the road in the Game 7. May 29th, 2022. And exactly 1 year later, on May 29th, 2023, the page was flipped. The Miami Heat defeated the Boston Celtics on the road in the Game 7 on the same day. And you heard what Jimmy Butler said. He said, next year, we're going to be in the same situation, and we're going to have enough to get the job done. This is how scripted this stuff is, you guys. These people know a year in advance. They actually know way more than a year in advance. But this one video proves that these people know the script that's gonna happen. They know what's gonna happen next year in the NBA. The 2022 NBA season just finished when he did this post-game interview. Actually, the Eastern Conference Finals just finished. The season didn't finish because the Celtics will end up and play the Warriors in the finals that year, and then end up losing and become 17-5 in finals like Golden State and Paul Francis. Something that we called last year when the Warriors won on Tupac's birthday. After Tupac, a Tupac lookalike made an appearance at a Celtics and Warriors game. I think those videos are still up on my channel if you guys want to go back and look at it. But I mean, just think about it. This was in May, and Jimmy Butler pretty much just confirmed what was going to happen in the upcoming NBA season. Isn't that amazing? And that shows you guys how these people like to just put the truth right in front of you, because they know a lot of people not paying attention. So just want to say congratulations to all the people who took my advice and took the Miami Heat money line to win the game. This photo that I'm about to show you guys, this is proof that knowledge is power. A person took my advice. He turned $1,000 into $3,500. He put $1,000 on the Miami money line, and it paid $3,500. Knowledge is power, and it pays to know what's going on. And a lot of you tell me, like, is this all about money? Is the only reason you guys do decode basketball games and football games is because you guys are trying to make money? No, it's not only about the money, but making money is helpful because we need money to survive in this world. The reason I like to do this is because, like I say in most of my videos, these games are always part of a bigger plan. They're always connected to some type of tragedy. Today in Florida, there was a mass shooting where 3 kids and 6 adults were shot at a Hollywood boardwalk in Florida. The same day that the Miami Heat advanced to the NBA Finals. And I don't think this is a coincidence, because this is what happens every time. Every time the sports games comes around, the championship comes around, something tragic happens. And this is why people need to wake up, because it's more than just making money. It's more than just worrying about the NBA or getting emotional about the NBA. Like somebody said the other day in my live stream that, we are emotionally invested into these games. No, these games help you see what's going on. These people like to connect tragedy to the sports games. And I'm pretty sure when I look at this mass shooting, I didn't take a look at it yet. I just briefly just read through the headline. I'm pretty sure this is synced up with the game that just ended today. All right, so we'll talk about this at the end. And just three kids and 6 adults. We know 666 is the 36 triangle number, and we know how much these people love the number 666. Just like how 151 is the 36 prime number, and the Celtics just became the 151st team to lose after being down 0-3 in a playoff series. But let me show you guys all the things that I noticed in this game and why we called the Miami Heat to win. This was very obvious. I couldn't believe the things that I was missing before. Like in the beginning, I should have saw all this stuff back in February when I was looking at who's gonna be in the NBA Finals. Because there's something that I'm about to show you guys that if I would have noticed this back in February, I would have called the Miami Heat to be in the finals back in February. I can't believe I didn't look into the Miami Heat, and it's probably because they was the 8th seed. So that was like the last team I thought was gonna make it. But whatever. I'm thankful that we at least got them today, because I really struggled in this series. The Denver Nuggets and Lakers series was really easy, but this series, it was kicking my ass in the beginning. But luckily today we got it right. So today is May 29th. Today is Carmelo Anthony's birthday, and we spoke about how significant Carmelo Anthony was to Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. That was the day that he announced his retirement. Was the same day that the Denver Nuggets decided to beat the Lakers and advance to the NBA Finals. Or should I say, the day that the Denver Nuggets advanced to the NBA Finals was the day that Carmelo Anthony decided to announce his retirement. Because he could have announced his retirement any other day, but he chose to do it during Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals, the two teams that he used to play for. He started his career in Denver, and then he ended up playing for the Lakers. And then during Game 4, he comes out and says that he wants to retire. And we guys remember what happened that game? The game started 15-15. The day that the former number 15, Carmelo Anthony, announces his retirement, the current number 15, Nikola Jokic, advances to the NBA Finals. And then the Lakers had a 15-point lead at the half. And LeBron had 15 field goals, and Nikola Jokic scored 15 points in the first half and 15 points in the second half. And then the Nuggets ended up winning, and number 15 advanced to the NBA Finals. So a big 15 ritual the day that the former number 15 decides to retire. All right, so today, Carmelo Anthony's birthday, the other conference concludes. Right, so think about it. On the day he retires, the Western Conference concludes. The Western Conference Finals concludes, and then on his birthday, the Eastern Conference Finals concludes. How convenient, right? Today is also JFK's birthday, the 35th U.S. president, and I think that was no accident, because today, if you guys notice up here, the Miami Heat, they picked up their 35th conference finals win, the 35th, and they did it on the most perfect day. They did it on the 149th day of the year, which is the 35th prime number. And if you guys notice here, the name Jimmy Butler equals 149. And think about his birthday, right? His birthday is September 14th, 14/9. And you guys notice how his name is 148 forwards? Look at this. This Game 7 that just ended, this was the 148th Game 7 in NBA history. And it happened to be played on the 149th day of the year. And the star player for the Heat, his name equals 148 forwards and 149 in reverse. How perfect, right? It's amazing how these people do this stuff. But I'm going back to what I was saying in the beginning of the video. Remember that clip in the post-game interview when Jimmy Butler says that the Heat were going to be in the same situation and they were going to have enough to take care of business, blah, blah, blah. This was Game 7 that they lost, right? The Celtics beat them 100-96 on the road, right? Look how much points Jimmy Butler scored last year during Game 7. He scored 35 points. And then a year later, he has this big 35 ritual where the Heat pick up their 35th conference win on the 149th day of the year, the 35th prime number, against the team with the 35 connection. Celtics has gematria of 35 as well. And look what it says here. The struggles continue for the Heat's top duo of Butler and Bam Adebayo. This was during Game 6, who combined for 35 points and shot 9 for 37 from the field. Butler himself made exactly 5 field goals for the third time in this series. So that was after Game 6 when the Heat lost at home and Derek White had that miracle shot go in with 1.1 seconds left in the game. I want you guys to understand why that happened. A lot of you keep saying that because the NBA changed the clock from 2.1 seconds to 3.0. That's the reason the Heat lost. No, the Heat was supposed to lose that game because the ritual was for the Heat to advance on the 149th day of the year. That game was a massive Michael Jordan tribute. Game 6 was on National Jordan Day. And the only player in NBA history to hit a game winner in the postseason, to be down and then hit, actually it's called the buzzer beater, right? So if you're down and then you make the shot to take the lead and win it, it's a buzzer beater. Either the game has to be tied or you have to be down for you to hit the buzzer beater. The only buzzer beater that has ever been made was by Michael Jordan against the Cavaliers in 1989, something that they refer to as the shot. If you do a Google search and type in Michael Jordan the shot, that game is going to show up. That's the only time it's ever been done in NBA history. So think about it. Derek White does it. Shout out to Miguel. Thank you for the donation. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your winnings today. So think about it. Derek White does this something that has never been done. The only player to ever do it was Michael Jordan. So he does the shot on National Jordan Day against Miami Heat, so a lot of people say that, Jimmy Butler might be Michael Jordan's son. And I think there's a lot to this, because if the Heat win the NBA championship, think about it. They'll win in the year 23. They just advanced to the NBA Finals on a day with 23 numerology. 101 days after Michael Jordan's birthday, and we know Finals is 101. So there's a lot of things with Jimmy Butler and Michael Jordan. I think these people are father and son. Unless they come out and admit it, or unless I'm able to run a DNA test on them, I will never know definitively. But there are a lot of things that stand out to me between Jimmy Butler and Michael Jordan. I think it's more than a conspiracy. I think it's a conspiracy fact, if you ask me. So the Celtics were supposed to win Game 6. That was a big Michael Jordan tribute. All right, so a big 35 ritual last year on May 29th. Jimmy Butler scores 35 in his loss to the Celtics. Fast forward to exactly 1 year later, the Heat pick up their 35th conference finals win on the 149th day of the year, led by Jimmy Butler, whose name equals 149, and they did it in the 148th Game 7 of all time in the NBA history. The 148th Game 7 in NBA history. The guy with the 148 and 149 name. And also notice he became 2-2 in Game 7s. Number 22 becomes 2-2 in Game 7 in Boston, when Boston equals 22 like basketball. Stuff is perfectly scripted, you guys. It's amazing. But this right here is the icing on the cake, and I wanted to leave it for last because this is the best part. Notice what I wrote. The Miami Heat lost to the Denver Nuggets with a final score of 112 to 108 on February 13th, 2023. And 108 days after that game was on 2/13. 108 days after February 13th, the NBA Finals starts, right? And the NBA Finals this year will be played on June 1st, which is the 213th day of the year. Going back to that 108, today Eric Spoelstra just picked up his 108th postseason win, exactly 108 days before Jimmy Butler's upcoming birthday. And remember how they kept comparing this to the baseball stuff, saying that the only team to do it was the Boston Red Sox. Well, Major League equals 108 as well. All right. And I was looking at Derek's notes. I like what he did. He pointed out how Game 6 was synced up with Babe Ruth, and it actually was. Go look up his notes. He did a great job on that. So Game 6 was a big Babe Ruth ritual, something that I didn't really realize, but I'm thankful that he did. So like I said, on 2/13, right, the NBA Finals equals 2/13. So on 2/13, the Heat lost to the Denver Nuggets. And think about how this year, on the 213th day of the year, the Heat can play the Denver Nuggets. Isn't that perfect, right? But notice this too. Eric Spoelstra, the head coach of the Miami Heat. This is what I should have noticed back in February. I'm fucking kicking myself. But I'm going to be honest. I didn't look at the Miami Heat because I didn't think they had a chance. But notice Eric Spoelstra, his birthday is November 1st, 11/1. His birthday is 11/1, you guys. And from his birthday to the start of the NBA Finals this year, it will be on his 213th day of his age. And notice in Gematria, the NBA Finals is 111 and 213. His birthday is 11/1. And the final starts on the 213th day of his age. I swear to God, if I would have noticed, if I would have did the work on Eric Spoelstra, I would have noticed this, and I would have called the Heat back in February. I always say this: look for 213 when you're trying to find out who's gonna be in the NBA Finals. And look, not only did the Nuggets play the Heat on 213, and not only are they gonna play again on the 213th day of the year, but they're gonna do it on the Eric Spoelstra's 213th day of his age. Oh my fucking goodness. But better late than never, right? At least we noticed it before this game was played. And we was able to catch that 7-point underdog. I got this. Somebody sent me this alert. I got this text from somebody that at halftime the Heat was up by 11, and it says here that Miami surges to a 52-41 Game 7 lead in Boston. He have won 41 straight playoff games when leading by 10 or plus points at halftime. And, of course, that happened on the 41-day numerology while the Celtics have 41 points at the half. But, yeah, so Miami Heat plus 245. A lot of you should have made a lot of money today. It's just unfortunate how, look at all the work that we do, all the research that we do, and then I ask for a tip, and people are like, oh, you're begging for money. No, I'm not begging for money. You know how much fucking money you should have made off of this pick? There's nobody else doing this type of work. If you go and look at other people's notes, you're not gonna find these synchronicities. This is me doing all this stuff. A lot of people learn about this shit after they watch my stuff. So this is why you guys have to appreciate the work that I'm doing. And a lot of people are like, oh no, we pay for the Patreon. We're not gonna send a tip. Man, you guys are pathetic, man. I charge $10 for Patreon. All this information you got it for $10 a month. And look, I showed you the ticket. The guy turned $1,000 into $3,500. More than it was over $3,500. Really? So if you're that person that made $3,500, you're saying that you shouldn't tip me because you already paid $10 for the. But yeah, you paid $10 for my Patreon picks, but then you go in and spend $1,000 on sports picks on the sports bet. So if you're able to bet $1,000, look, this guy right here, shout out to him. He said he's gonna put a band on this pick. So you put $1,000 on this pick. A lot of you put a lot of money because you saw that how good the research was. So why is it that there's a problem if I ask for a tip? I mean, if I would have said, whatever, man. You guys don't want to tip me, whatever, man. It's fine. It's unfortunate because nobody's doing this type of work. Nobody. We're not giving out double narratives. We're not saying both teams can win. No, we're giving out who's gonna win, and that's it. And we're showing you why. Speaking of 151, like I said this in my last video. Notice in Gematria playoff, Jimmy equals 151, and the Celtics just became the 151st team to lose after being down 3-0 in the postseason to playoff Jimmy. So. Actually, I made a live stream earlier today, about 40 minutes long. I mean, all this stuff is time consuming. Think about it. The research it's time consuming. The presentation is time consuming. You guys think that's just worth $10, right? Okay, maybe. But let's see. I don't want to talk to you guys to death. I mean, I did multiple live streams already. We spoke about how. We're going to have Batman versus the Joker in the NBA Finals. Please tell me it's not my audio that's not working. Because somebody's calling me. I'm not taking calls yet. Yeah, Tune 800, suck my dick. For you to say that I'm begging. Suck my dick, you bitch. I'm begging? Okay, whatever. Suck my dick. Let me call this guy. Stop begging. Stop watching my videos. Stop trying to get rich off me. How about that? Do your own work. Or go sign up to somebody else who's going to tell you to pick both teams. Oh, I think both teams are going to win. Put your money on both teams. Let's see what Washington wants. What's going on, my brother?
What's good, man? Same old. Just appreciate the work, man. I stopped betting for a little minute, and then I seen your post earlier, and I was just like, man, I really feel like the Celtics is going to blow the game. I just ain't trust Jimmy, but I just needed something just to put me over the top, some research, and I was just like, that's why I asked for the research earlier. And you gave me the live. I mean, not the live, but your post.
I did. Did I not? I didn't send you the video.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, yeah, I did. Right? Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
I was just feeling like I was like, man, Like, there's no way the Heat are gonna lose 4 games straight. Like, it's just
Well, it's possible if they wanted them to lose 3, 4 straight, they could, because it's all scripted and rigged. But
exactly.
something I should have noticed a long time ago is how the finals lined up with Eric Spoelstra. I was missing this. He was born on 11/1, and the finals is on his 213th day of his age.
Okay.
And the NBA finals is
That's
111
what I'm
and
saying.
213.
That little extra, the information. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could do as many prop search and stat searches and stuff like that, but it's not about that at the end of the day.
It's also a theme. That's what I was saying in my last live stream, that if you're just going by numbers, you're gonna go crazy, because numbers are gonna line up sometimes on both sides. You have to look at the bigger theme. What are they doing? Because think about what they're doing in the Stanley Cup. Vegas just advanced today, right? Vegas, the Golden Knights. I don't know if that game is over, but last time I checked, it was up by 6. It was 6-0.
Yeah.
So something that I posted a few weeks ago was how they now. I mean, I think all 4 teams, the both leagues have their championship teams set, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. All right. So think about it. They got Florida versus Gold in hockey, and now they got Florida versus Gold in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I seen that when you said that, man. I ain't really been tracking the hockey, but I seen that in that post, that YouTube video you posted, and I was like, damn. But I'm saying that's the type of research that I needed to solidify my thought on, like, damn, this, like, it's not Celtics. This is not the move.
The thing is, the Celtics, let me get this thought across. So the Celtics, they got 22 final appearances, and that's a big number in Boston, and that's a big number with the NBA. So it didn't make sense for them to go into our 23rd NBA Finals. It didn't make sense. And plus, they got 17 championships already. So why would they mess that up? The NBA loves that number 17. Just like how that's why probably they had the Lakers get eliminated. I don't think the Lakers or Celtics are ever going to win a championship again. I really don't think so.
Damn. That would be crazy.
Yeah, I think it's done. I mean, they won 7. They won most of them.
Right. Such a strong fan base too. Like, you can always get their high hopes up, and then you could just kill them, like, every time.
So they got Gold versus Florida and Gold versus Florida. I mean, how can people not see this shit and not see how scripted it is?
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. I talk to one of my boys all the time, and, like, I show them, like, your channel and everything, and they're just like, bro, you looking way too deep into this. And I'm just like, dog, you're an idiot. Like, all right, whatever.
Guys,
like,
no disrespect to your friend, but he's really brain dead. He's brain dead if he thinks
you're looking at me today, and he's like, man, this shit just happened one time. And I'm like,
no, it happens all the time. You guys also show them, when you're trying to explain this to your friends, also show them how the tragedies happen. Like, the Saints win the Super Bowl after Hurricane Katrina. The Astros win the World Series after Hurricane Harvey. The Yankees and Mets are in the World Series prior to 9/11. Stuff like that.
Bro, and like I tell him, I said, bro, everything can't be a coincidence. Like, everything can't be a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really cannot be. Like, some stuff is being controlled for real. Like, the refs, one call could change the whole game. Like, people are like, no, it can't. Like, yes, it can. Like, the people with the whistles, like, the same refs keep doing the games over and over, the most important games, for a reason. You know what I'm saying? But appreciate the work, man. I'm watching the live right now, and yeah, just keep it up, man.
Appreciate that, man. And thanks for the support, man. And thank you for the trust.
Yeah.
Thank you for the trust, because a lot of people think that I'm just out here scamming or selling bad picks and stuff. Like, look at the quality of the work that we're doing. You saw the 40-minute video. I mean, I'm not just guessing who's gonna win. There's a lot of time and effort that goes into these picks.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that I'm picking the team because I'm going with my gut. No, there's a lot of research that goes into these decisions. This is why I can't do it for free.
Like, the numbers that you're researching, and you're putting, like, the PowerPoint stuff together. Like how is all this, like, Spoelstra? We're talking about years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is this adding up to be a coincidence? Like,
no, but isn't it remarkable how it's all perfectly, like, coordinated that way, though? It's just, Like
It is though, but at the same time, you can say that's why people like, you know how when people say, "Oh, I didn't make the league," like, bro, you didn't make the league. Like, you might have been so good back in the day, but you weren't part of the plan.
that's
Bro.
that's
Like,
that's the perfect word.
you know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
wasn't part of the plan.
you would have probably
That's the
been out
reason.
there trying to be Superman, messing up the script.
Or
You know what I'm
Batman,
saying?
for in the case of the Nuggets and Heat.
Like, this shit crazy, man. Like, man, you know,
Yeah, that's what it is. A lot of these players,
like I said before,
a lot of these players who might be good enough that and they don't make it, they didn't make it because, like you said, they wasn't part of the script.
right, you're not part of the plan, bro, which is cool. Now just watch the shit like the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, or try to make some money off it. But like when I try to tell my boy today, I'm like, bro, the Heat winning today, and he just like, no fucking way, dog. Like all this stuff. I'm like, all right, then just take the points, man. Like if you don't trust it, like if you don't trust them winning, just take the points because 8 points was way too high for a game 7. Like,
Yeah, you know why? You know why the spread was 7? Because the Heat just are going to their 7th NBA Finals. So they're telling you in the spread. They're telling you who's gonna win.
Right. Everything is like a clue, but it's like just like if you look at like the boosts and stuff like that, they gave you Bam to hit the first bucket or Tatum to hit the first bucket.
You saw what happened the first 26 seconds. Celtics 26. Jason Tatum twists his ankle. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then he's fucking limping.
And then he's limping the entire game. Like this stuff is pathetic. The way they mock the fans. I'm telling you.
Yeah, like if his ankle was that damn hurt, he didn't receive any treatment or nothing. Like he just fucking limped the whole game. Like whatever. Like get your ass out of here. Like it's all good. I got my winnings for the night. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. Sent you a tip and everything for the work, man.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people say that I'm begging because I asked for a tip. I'm like, man, I just gave you a 7-point underdog. A 7-point underdog.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't bet a whole rack of money just because I don't really put a whole lot of money into this betting. But I did put some money up, and it's just like at the end of the day, like that's your research really took me over the top to take what I thought already. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know, it's only right. You know what I'm saying? But you know how people are.
Yeah.
People still believe the work is crazy. You know.
Yeah.
People still want to believe this shit's not fixed.
People believe that 9/11 was really a terrorist attack. I mean,
man, I've been watching some crazy videos on that shit on just about the Pentagon because I'm from Northern Virginia. So it's like, I mean, during that time I was young, but now that I'm looking at like all these videos and stuff like that, and I actually work in construction and engineering, and it's like, there's no way some of that shit happened. Like something else happened other than the plane just hitting a building, you know, or the Pentagon. I've been watching videos of that. And there's like no footage of a plane even coming near the ground, you know, type stuff. And it's like, damn, like what else are we getting lied to? Like everything's a fucking hoax or something. You know, everything it's not even a hoax, it's an agenda.
Yep. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Absolutely.
You know.
You heard about the 76ers traded Doc for Nick Nurse? They traded a Doc for a nurse. It's just part of the whole mockery that they do, man.
Yeah, they playing like they really playing with us, man. Like
a Doc for a nurse.
Like,
so they basically got worse because
we're really clowns. Like
if you can't get it done with a doctor, you're not gonna get it done with a nurse. It's basically what they're trying to say.
Right. But like that's why these people on the people that write these articles and stuff like that, like they get paid the big bucks to make these jokes because like people in the background, like we're not even thinking about it tomorrow about the Nick Nurse Doc joke, but like they're telling us right there, like you said, like he's not gonna get it done either.
Exactly. Yep.
You know, like shit's all funny, man. I can't wait till the football season, man. I'm gonna tap back in with you because I don't even, like I said, I haven't really been betting too much.
Well, that's a good thing because you bet it on. You picked the right game to bet because this is one of those rare occasions where a big underdog does these upsets like that.
And that's what made me hit you up today. Mostly was because I felt like that spread was way too crazy for a game 7. And I'm like, I need just a little bit more information on this game 7. So like when I messaged you today, I said Celtics, and like you immediately put out the Heat money line, and I'm like, damn, like that's exactly what the fuck I thought. Like, and then I looked at the damn research, and it's like, all right, this is what I'm rolling with. It's too many numbers. It's too much research on this side. Too many numbers, playing.
Yeah, number 22 becomes 2-2 in game 7.
Right.
They put that shit right in our face, man. Well, if you're researching, at least.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I really, this is not the first time I didn't trust your research. Like, you know what I'm saying? I really tap in with you in football.
Yeah, I hit a bump in the Super Bowl, man. But we'll get it right eventually, man.
Perfect.
Yeah, this shit is hard. This shit is not easy, man.
Like, yeah, like I appreciate it, man. For real.
I appreciate you too, man.
All right, man. Have a good week. Stay up, man.
All right, you too.
All right, man.
Yeah, we need more people like that. You see, he trusts my work, and then he sends a tip because he saw how good the research was. Instead of the trolling and the disrespect, I don't understand it. Like, and it'd be the people who tune into my stuff. If you're a troll, why you tune into my stuff? You obviously don't respect me. So it's just weird. But 131 people, the championship number, right? Yeah, Kyle Lowry and Nick Nurse and Kawhi Leonard, they won the championship that year. I remember. 151 people was watching Topsy. Yeah, that's YouTube messing with us, man. Playoff Jimmy 151 like Jesus Christ. Miami, I don't think Miami was supposed to win Game 6. I think it was perfectly scripted for Game 7. Take some more calls before we call it a night. Hello?
Arthur, what's up, man?
What's going on, my brother? Thank you for the call.
No doubt. We spoke the other day with Denver, and we had that long talk before the I don't know if you remember.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I do.
Yeah, I had to say this, bro. I had to say this. What are the chances? I want to know the mathematical odds of this. And I've been trying to tell some friends and family about this, but no one is feeling me. This getting me tight, so I had to call you and ask you this. What are the mathematical odds that I don't remember when they did it? I think maybe 2-3 years ago, the NBA changed the trophy names to like names of the players. So like, and they added the Eastern Conference and Western Conference MVPs. What are the chances, mathematical odds, that Jokic wins the Magic Johnson Award in LA? And Jimmy Butler wins the Larry Bird Trophy in Boston? What's the chance?
Yeah. I remember you was telling me about that. Wow, that's amazing.
What is it? What's the mathematical? Think about this. Both teams are playing. You have to play. So they're playing in Denver and LA. Then you got to do the mathematical odds of all the other teams in the tournament. And
that's great. That's great. That's really a great observation. I went over my head. I didn't even look at that. He did win the Larry. I didn't know it was called the Larry Bird Trophy.
Yes, the Eastern Conference one's called Larry Bird, and the Magic Johnson one's called the Western Conference called Magic. So what's the chances that both of those players win it in the city that both of those players play for? And no one, I'm telling my homeboys, like,
it's almost I think it's impossible to happen in the same season in the same playoffs.
Yes.
I don't know what's the odds. The odds is it's probably like hitting the lotto 4 times or something like that. It's crazy odds.
With 30 cities playing in each
It's crazy odds. It's crazy odds. Because it's not like Larry Bird played for the Celtics and played for other teams.
Yes.
He's remembered as a Celtic, and just like Chamberlain is remembered as a Laker.
Yes, and then what makes it even crazier is the fact that that same night that he got that trophy, he passed Wilt in that game, Jokic, on the triple-double. He passed Wilt, and then and this is all occurring in L.A. Then this dude comes...
That's really unbelievable how they do this stuff. You're right.
That That is like getting struck by lightning twice in 1 week.
Yeah. I think it's. I think I think that'll happen before this will happen organically.
And I'm sitting there telling people this, and they're just like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "That doesn't blow you away." Like I just. Anyways, that's all I had to say. I appreciate it, brother.
But the thing is, people will argue saying that like LeBron could have won the Will Chamberlain Trophy. Like, but anybody to win it in those cities in the same playoffs, it's remarkable. Yeah,
in the same, and not only are they doing it, like it's just occurring with like, and remember I guess I told you about the other day, but the Paul Silas passing away.
Yes.
NBA posted like maybe 2 days ago, like remembering Paul Silas before this game, and I was like, oh, they're really going. So Paul Silas has to do with this. Remember, he died in Denver, North Carolina, and I'm just like, oh, okay. But I had a feeling that the Heat were going to win the moment I saw Alonzo Mourning. Did you say the Heat before the game? I don't know what you had. I know you had.
Yeah, I did a video saying that the Heat was going to win, and I did a bunch of stuff. The same thing that I pretty much spoke in this video, in the beginning of this video.
I knew you were having a hard time with the series, so I didn't know like if you went with the Heat or not. What gave it away? I didn't hear what you said. Well,
the NBA Finals starts on Eric Spoelstra's 213th day of his age, and he has the 11-1 birthday, and the NBA Finals is 111 and 213. And the name Jimmy Butler equals 148 and 149, and on the 149th day of the year, the Heat pick up their 35th conference win in the 148th Game 7.
Oh, I would never pick that up. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was just perfectly scripted for Jimmy Butler to have this moment.
And the game wasn't even close. Did you see Jaylen Brown, bro?
It's like they all forgot how to play basketball. All of them, the entire squad, they all forgot how to play basketball.
I'm like, this game, and I'm telling me, my dad had like a little friendly wager on the game, or who's gonna buy dinner tomorrow, or whatever. But I'm just like, man, I just had a feeling like it was just set up too perfectly for the Heat to win. But then they did say, the only thing that scared me was they said that Boston they had a chance to be the first team to come back in 151 tries. And
playoff Jimmy's 151.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Denver, Colorado's 151 too, though. So that's why I was like, oh, they might.
And the Heat also picked up their 161st postseason win to go play on the Denver Nuggets, which equals 161. But the 151 makes sense because that's the 36 prime number. And think about how Marcus Smart was on the court. They kept showing his jersey number the entire game, number 36. Yeah.
Shaq won 36 for the Celtics, too.
Yeah, they was both born on March 6th. So.
I didn't. They born on March 6th?
Both of them, yeah, both of them. Marcus Smart, and they both play with the Celtics. Marcus Smart and Shaq, both born on March 6th. They both wore number 36 for the Celtics.
I know Shaq was born on March 6th. I didn't know Marcus Smart. And then you saw the Nick Nurse Doc Rivers.
Yeah, the joke, the big joke with the Doc gets removed for the nurse, which is like.
And I was telling somebody that, not like maybe like last year, I was like, don't you think it's kind of like a coincidence that the coach that wins before the pandemic is Nick Nurse? And they didn't think that was weird. And I'm like,
well, I see you're catching stuff that I'll never really pay like. All this is news to me. I mean, that is a great observation. That is probably what that whole NBA Finals was about. You know,
the whole NBA Finals was a storyline with Doc. Remember Nick Nurse, Kawhi hit that shot against the.
And didn't they have the Doc versus the Nurse?
Yes.
Yeah, they had Doc versus Nurse. Yeah, because they had Philly. That was the Game 7 that Kawhi hit that buzzer beater.
No. I'm sorry. No, that was though. I think Doc was in at that.
No, he was the Philly coach.
I think he was in Clippers at that time.
Was he? So who was the Philly coach?
It was a Brown, a white dude. I think he got fired for that game.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a white dude got fired. But I was just like, this dude Nick Nurse comes out of nowhere, and all of a sudden he's like Coach of the Year, and I'm like, it's like, oh, Nurse is the best coach. Nurse is the best coach.
And you know that Finals was synced up with the film, that Bow Wow film. You remember that film?
What film? Like Mike?
Like Mike, yeah. The cover of the movie, I'm going to put it on the screen so you can see it. The cover of the movie is actually Kawhi Leonard and Nick Nurse.
Really? Oh, wait, you say the cover like Bow Wow is supposed to be Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah, and the other kid is Nick Nurse. I'm gonna show you. And in that movie, Vince Carter made an appearance. I remember it was Vince Carter who missed that shot against the Philadelphia 76ers to go to the finals, and then Kawhi comes in and makes it. So yeah,
Yep.
so I'm showing the photo on the screen. I don't know if it's probably like a delay before you see it.
Yeah, it's a delay, and I can't see it right now. I'm on the phone. I don't want to make the.
Oh yeah, so the kid is wearing like he has the blonde hair and the glasses just like Nick Nurse, and then Bauer has the braids just like Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, and because I just remember that whole. I don't know if it was 2019 or 2020. It had to be. I think it was before the pandemic. That whole situation was like about a shot, because I remember Doc Rivers was coaching Ben Simmons, and I remember the whole team broke up because Ben Simmons refused to take the shot. Do you remember that? They're saying, "Oh, Ben Simmons, he just won't take the shot. He won't take the shot." And then during like that last game against the Hawks, he had a wide open layup, and everyone's like, "Oh, he didn't take the shot. How do you feel about Ben Simmons not taking the shot?" And then all of a sudden, he gets traded to the Nets, where Kyrie Irving refused to take the shot. Do you remember that whole little storyline?
Yeah, I kind of
Where,
remember vaguely. Yeah.
there's like a huge storyline, like Ben Simmons, he just refuses to shoot, and then at the same time, Kyrie Irving was refusing the shot. And it was just too much of like shot refusal. It was just
Yeah, I kind of remember. Yeah, I do. I kind of remember. Yeah.
And that whole time, I'm just like, why is this whole thing like seem like a joke? But then the reason why I knew it was like weird was because the whole time Ben Simmons was playing with Doc Rivers, and I was like, that's strange that his storyline is about like refusing to take the shot, and his coach is the Doc.
The Doc, yeah.
And I just thought that was really weird. But
and that's what happened. That's what happened with a lot of people after the pandemic. It all makes sense. It all makes sense.
Yeah, like this refusal to take the shot. But when I saw, and the crazy thing about it was they didn't say. It's kind of like no. Oh, when after he won that Larry Bird trophy, the TNT crew, they were like the last Eastern Conference team to be the lowest seed to go to the finals, and they showed Reggie Miller's Pacers playing against the Knicks. But then guess who was coaching? It was Larry Bird was coaching that Indiana Pacers team. And I'm like, that's when it hit me. I was like, yo, wait a minute. I said, oh, Larry Bird did coach the Pacers, but he never played for the Pacers, but he coached the Pacers. I'm like, wait, what's the chances of these guys winning these awards in these people's cities like that? And I could understand if Larry Bird was like most players, he played for the Celtics, the Hawks, and like the Sixers. Like he had a career that was like bouncing around. I could understand. But this is like his franchise, his whole career. Both players, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, and these guys are just winning trophies in their cities, and no one.
So the Western Conference Trophy is called the Magic Johnson Trophy or the Will Chamberlain?
No, it's called the West. It's called the Magic Johnson Trophy. When you win the MVP for the Western Conference, and then when you win the MVP for the Eastern Conference, it's called the Larry Bird Trophy. And I think when you win the Finals MVP, I think that might be the Michael Jordan Trophy.
See, now that makes sense why they had that Magic Johnson Larry Bird commercial.
Yeah, because they're definitely involved in this.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't think about that. Is this the first year that they named those trophies that?
Nah, it's not the first year. I think it's been around for it's been around for a couple years. Because I remember Kawhi Leonard, he won the Kobe Bryant. He was the first one to win the Kobe Bryant trophy, and the Kobe Bryant trophy is the All-Star Game trophy. So I remember Kawhi Leonard was the first person to win that, but I think they may have brought it in 2020 or 2021, or maybe 2019, somewhere around there.
But it's still remarkable that that happens the same year that the two teams, and they do it in their city. It's just that is
at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time. Yeah, it's just.
But yeah, that's all I had to say, brother.
I appreciate you, man. That was a great call.
Absolutely, no doubt.
All right. Yeah, shout out to that caller, man. We need more people like him too. Man, I'm really kicking myself that I didn't see this earlier in the season. This Eric Spoelstra guy, man. NBA really likes this guy. Made a lot of finals appearances already. The years with LeBron. 2020, they played against the Lakers. And here they are again in the NBA Finals. As the 8th seed. It's like the Panthers. Hello?
Hey, what's going on, Simple Truth?
What's going on, my brother? Thank you for the call.
Oh, yeah, sure, no problem, man. I just got 2 nuggets for you, and I'm let you do your thing, okay?
Is it Murray and Jokic?
No. Actually, it has to do with the game tonight.
No, because you said you got two nuggets. I was wondering if it's
That's good. That's good. I like that. All right. So, tonight's game, right, was 105 days before 9/11. And I don't know if you saw the record for the Celtics, but they actually fell to 11-9, which is like, the reverse of 9/11. And it turns out that this year's 9/11 anniversary is going to be their 22nd. And Jimmy Butler wears number 22, and he plays for them. And I seen that earlier today, and I was like, man, like they really be scripting this stuff around, like how you said, like the tragic events for Memorial Day. They scripted right along with 9/11 tonight.
Yes. Wow.
And then there's one more. So for the game one, right? So it turns out that Bill Russell, right? Like he died. They said July 31st, 2022, and from that day to game one, which is on 6/1/2023, is 305 days, right? So if you look on StatMuse, right, the Heat have a record of 20-10 versus the Western Conference, and the Nuggets have a record of 19-11 versus the Eastern Conference. So if the Heat lose game one and the Nuggets win game one, they both improve and fall to 20-11, and that's the 305th prime.
Wow, that's nice. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, so if you can, brother, just go ahead and double check that on StatMuse so you can see it for yourself with your own eyes. And yeah, man, I appreciate the show and everything.
Well, I appreciate you calling in and giving us that. I appreciate that.
Sure. All right, brother.
All right, you too. Yeah, 211, the 305th prime. Okay, we will look out for that. Shout out to Sports Gematria. I know he's gonna have a blast after tonight's prediction from that other guy. Oh yeah, 9/11 is the 156 prime number. Boston Celtics 156. Yeah, see, Brian said that you heat up nuggets in the oven. That's true, but you also heat up gold, right, to make jewelry. So that's another idea. Hello.
Hello.
What's going on? Thank you for the call.
What's up, Arthur? It's Tops.
Oh, what's going on, Topsy?
Not much, man. I don't know. Like, I want to say congratulations first on the Heat. That was a solid call.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
About that.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I just, when we assume like it's a set way to do this, like I called Zach earlier and I gave him the Twins, as a pick.
You gave him what?
Like, on the live stream, I called him. I let him know, like who I was liking. And I gave him the Twins, and I told him why. And the decode was Astros fall to 859 May losses on the 149th day of the year. 859, the 149th prime. And then Twins in the standard cipher equals 859. And I told Zach that, and like after I got off the phone with him, he was like the decode, like those usually are hit and miss or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I ended up being right, and like I'm not even sure like what his picks was or if he made any. But it's just my point is like we assume like it's a set way that they do this, but
it's not just, it's just him.
Yeah, exactly. But I just try to
because there is no set way. There is no set way.
Yeah,
because we're not in the inside. We don't know. Because think about what they do. Like when I watch Derek's,
these are practitioners of deception. Yeah. They master deception. So why would they have a set way?
No, there is no set way. Because if there was a set way, we'll be getting stuff right every single time. I was looking at Derek's work, and he's absolutely right about how they're connected this to the solar eclipses. See, if we don't fully understand that, we won't know everything. So there is no set way. Because think about it, this is also connected to planets and stuff like that. So you can't say that there's nothing set about this.
Haven't been following y'all for like at least 5.5 years now. Like
and decoding myself, like I understand, like sometimes it's this way and sometimes it's that way. So it's like you can't say that like, oh yeah, this is the way that it. No, man.
No.
Like
No.
sometimes it's the surface numbers and sometimes it's the big numbers. I just seen big numbers here.
And then what I was saying too is it's not always about numbers. Period. Sometimes it's about the theme.
Exactly. So I don't know. I just for people in general, not just aiming at Zach, just like it shouldn't be like a preconceived like mindset of like how this is going or how they do it. It's just, I just think that's asinine to think that. I think it's immature. Like you got to keep an open mind. You have to check all angles. Like you can't just say like, oh yeah, this is it, or only the surface codes hit. Fuck no, man. That's fucking stupid as fuck.
No. That is definitely not. And we can't limit ourselves either. We can't say, oh, there's no way this is connected to the solar eclipse because that's stupid. No, it's not stupid.
I believe all of that. Astrology and numerology, I follow all of that. Where I become like on the fence about stuff is when we start saying that Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's son, because there's no real concrete way to really track that.
But the
like
thing
how
is,
we do the numbers. Like we can't deny the numbers because we get up day in, day out, and it proves itself through the decode. But how can we truly prove that Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's genetic son?
Well, the thing is, the thing is,
and the reason why I stay on the fence about it is because when we're trying to spread this message or trying to get people to like wake up and join this community, people who have logical, astute minds, if you start off with, or like if you're part of the conversation is saying that Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's son, you're going to run them away. I think the best thing to do is to stick with the stuff that's the most evident. And then like, as you know, like somewhere down the road, you can start speaking on stuff like that. When you're trying to get people to join a community, especially people like everybody doesn't think surface. There's a lot of people out here that can like sit down and have a true debate with you. And like, you know, like you have to be able to convince a person of, I don't know, you have to give yourself validity. And I don't think having a conversation about, oh, this celebrity is this celebrity's son, or this celebrity is really a female or a male.
Well, yeah, that's the part.
Alien people. It's the Earth is flat, like stuff like that. Like I think you run people away. You have to stick to the stuff that's the most evident.
Yeah, but the thing is, when okay, you said a couple of things that I agree with, but there's a couple of things you said I don't truly agree with, because we also got to look at the hints that they give us, right? So I get what you're saying about trying to bring in people and then coming up with these conspiracies, because a lot of people are gonna look at that like, oh, that doesn't make sense, because they don't understand what's going on. So it's better to keep it simple with the people who are new to the work. I get that, but for the people who are already advanced, like yourself and others, we should look at why they're claiming that there's a possibility that Jimmy Butler might be related to Michael Jordan, because there's probably a lot of truth to that. And then we look at the hints that they give us and all the clues, then that's when we can make our decision. Like, think about all the stuff that happened with Nate Thurman and LeBron James, right? LeBron James kept playing against the Warriors, and Nate Thurman was from Akron. And then
might have weight to me, because you don't see videos on the internet that has multiple, that has hundreds of thousands of views or a million views saying the same thing that this community is saying. That,
well, yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that.
You know what I'm saying? So when it's like that, then I'm like, oh no, this is bogus right here. If it's to this point where like even the casuals are speaking on it, and they have videos that has hundreds of thousands of views on it, and like almost a million views, that means the casuals is speaking on this stuff too. And like when they trying to keep something a secret, you know, like they bring the views down. Like I remember when Zach used to get hundreds of thousands of views on videos, and like over the time, like that has like died down. And I remember when you used to get more than what you get, and it might seem like it might take like a like, what was that King Von video you came out with? And I think it had like currently right now I think it has like 20-something thousand views on it. But it seems like
it slowed down.
When you come out with certain stuff, then like the views might be higher than usual. But for the most part, like
I see what you're saying. You're saying that if it's something that's true, they wouldn't have that much viewage.
Hell no.
So that's why probably they're claiming. But you gotta admit,
know,
though,
man.
you gotta admit, like Jimmy Butler, Jordan, they do have like.
They do look alike.
Nah, but not only it's more than just them looking alike. I mean, just think about.
I'm not even saying that it's not true. What I'm saying is like when you try to gain a bigger following, you can't like you we can have the conversation on like we can entertain it, but like as far as like truly standing on that as if you have like some concrete evidence. Nah, man, that like.
But you don't find it strange. Like think about all these
videos that say dead and clone.
No, that's stupid. That I don't make videos like that.
On that shit. Like,
no, that's stupidity. Cloning, because you really can't prove that. But the thing about Jimmy, let's stick to Jimmy Butler and Michael Jordan. The thing is this, right? So I was looking at it because I thought it was foolish too. I was like just like you said, if something is true, the media is not gonna be promoting it. But the thing about Jimmy Butler and Jordan is, not only is, think about it, we're in the year 23, and here we are with Jimmy Butler, and he gets drafted by the Bulls, and now this conspiracy is taking off again. And they just had a big, today it was a day with 23 numerology. He advances to the NBA Finals 101 days after Jordan's birthday, and Finals is 101. So they're giving us a lot of clues that a lot of people are not aware of. There a lot of people not when you watch those videos about Jordan and what they're not saying what we're saying. They're saying stuff like that they look alike, that their games are similar. They're saying bullshit those things that, of course, that's what they're feeding the public. They're not feeding the public the information that we're putting out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but everybody isn't hip to the knowledge that we're putting out.
Yeah, but that's what the media is always gonna hide. So even if it's something that's true, they can still put it out there as the truth, because people are gonna look at it like, oh well, the only thing that they showed us to convince us is that Jimmy Butler shoots with his tongue out, and he looks just like, that's the only thing they're showing. They're not showing the similarities in why Jimmy Butler wore the number 23 and why he averaged 23.9 his last season with the Bulls, when those are the numbers that Michael Jordan used to wear. You know, there's a lot of other things too with Jordan and Butler. Think about the name Jimmy. I think it was you. I think it was you that called in and said how the name Jimmy is just another name for James, and so basically Jimmy Butler's name is James Jordan, like Michael Jordan's grandfather. So there's a lot of things to consider, but the media and those videos that got the millions of views. Like if I was to make a video saying Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's son, my video would not get 1 million views, because I'm going to be showing other things besides them looking alike.
And they already know who you are, so they already know to keep your shit toned down.
Yeah, because a lot of those channels that got 1 million views, I mean, a lot of those videos.
They know who is who. They
pay
attention to everything.
Exactly. They look at the content, and then if you look at those videos, the only thing they're saying and comparing is their appearance. They're not showing anything else.
I bet they be sitting back just laughing at that shit and just like, I just be wondering like what their reactions be like when because I know they do that shit. Yeah. I wonder if they be blown away like some of the stuff that we find, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I know they do that shit.
Yeah, because they talk about it during the game. I mean, they throw a lot of subliminals, man, and then they're directing that at us, man. They know that we are on to them. They know it. Think about what the ESPN did a few years ago. They come out with a commercial that says, if you're into numerology, why would they say that?
Yeah.
If you're into numerology, who else is into numerology but us?
And then earlier this year, they had the shit on Comedy Central, I think, when it was
exactly
about gematria, and
exactly.
They picked like the most like
the stupidest person to interview them about gematria. Yes. Oh yeah, I think Michael Jackson is alive, but that's what I'm saying. That's what they're doing. You see what they're doing though? They're mocking us, even though they're putting the truth out there. Michael Jackson could be alive, but they chose one of the dumbest people. If that person is from the community, they chose one of the dumbest people to interview, because her responses were not something that I would have said if he was interviewing me. You know,
and she had the right energy, but she was just too fried. I think, you know what I'm saying. Like she just.
No, I think is she was just an actor. I think she was never really. She's not part of this community. I think she was.
She looked like the typical like conspiracy theorist from like the 70s. She had like the flower shit on her head and like the.
Yeah. That's the typical conspiracy theorist kind of like, and then they try to make her sound like she's crazy. Like she looked like a crazy person. You see, and that's what they want. They want us to sound crazy. And Sports Gematria just pointed out how they use Derek's calculator as the font for the calculator that the lady was using. So she said Michael Jackson is alive because I just typed it. I typed it in the calculator and it told me this. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to make a mockery out of us.
That's fucking hilarious, bro.
Yeah, but that's how a person that is not aware of this information is gonna hear that and say this is stupid. I'm not gonna even look into it.
Yeah.
Because look at this person. They all like that.
Man, that's fucking crazy.
But I do think there's a lot to that Jimmy Butler and Michael Jordan. I don't think that you should dismiss that.
I'm not my energy, man, has always been like never take a firm stance on anything because you just never know. No,
we can't confirm. We can't confirm Michael Jordan is Jimmy Butler's father definitively because unless, like I said in the beginning of this video, unless we run a DNA test on them or unless they come out and admit it, we won't never really know. But they are giving us a lot of hints through the gematria and the numerology, not just them looking alike. Through the numerology, through them, the stuff that they do on the dates that they do it. I mean, the guy made the finals on 101 days after Jordan's birthday. Why would this game be synced up with Michael Jordan if they're not related,
No, but that's just like when we seen Larry Bird and Magic Johnson in the commercial, and we thought that was hinting at a Lakers Celtics final. It was like, why would they do that?
Not me. I don't know who said that, but I never said.
I'm just saying in general, when that commercial.
Well, think about the last caller.
Was thinking that.
Yeah, the last caller that called in, he pretty much let us know why they did that because, like he said, the Magic Johnson Trophy was won in L.A. where Magic Johnson played, and the Larry Bird Trophy was won in Boston where he played. So they just paid tribute to Bird and Magic in the conference finals by having the two teams advance in the finals in their city. So that could have been the reason for that commercial.
Yeah, but I get all that, man. And like I'm saying, like Jimmy Butler, he probably could be.
And you gotta understand, the NBA is a father. It is a father-son league. The NBA is a father-son league.
Let me see. You remember when the Cardinals played the Bears? I think because you remember the Cardinals owner died, and then it was like a 2-2-3 span from when he died or something like that, and the Cardinals became 4-8 or something like that. It was like you could tell he was born in that city and he owned the Cardinals. I forget who it was. I think it was the Cardinals owner. I think so. I think he died, and then it was a ritual about him, and it was just like it was no denying it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying there's no true evidence like that we can find for Jimmy Butler being Jordan's son. We can find some numbers that align, but when you were saying he's Michael Jordan's genetic son, you have to have some type of some type of I don't know.
Well, I mean, but what will nothing through the work will prove it besides the DNA test.
It's not no real way that you can really prove that. You know what I'm saying?
But that's like saying you can't prove that Nate Thurman is LeBron's father. But we can see that there's something.
That's what I'm saying. I don't argue stuff like that because how can you prove it? And I get it. If stuff is aligning really, really well and consistently, I get that. And he looks a lot like Mike, and he even sounds like Mike.
But fathers and sons don't always look alike. I mean, that's something you also have to consider. That sometimes we don't look like our fathers.
I'm just saying, as far as us making the case for him being Mike's son, I get why people are saying that. I can see it too. But I'm just saying, we can't stand on that the way we can gematria as far as proving that these games are rigged or proving that there was a death here. We can't really prove genetics. You know what I'm saying?
The only thing that will prove it, but they all do. Like I said, they are doing a lot of suspicious things with Jimmy Butler and Jordan. We won't ever definitively know unless we run a DNA test. But they are doing a lot of suspicious things.
Hell yeah, that's them. That's their practice. That's what they do.
And you I mean, this is the thing about this shit. Think about what they did. Memorial Day, Michael Jordan had this is so funny. Michael Jordan, remember he couldn't get past the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
That was the thing during his career. He couldn't get past the bad boy Pistons.
The bad boys.
Yeah. Michael Jordan finally got eliminated the bad boy Pistons, on Memorial Day. So think about how Jimmy Butler finally got past the Celtics on Memorial Day, just like Michael Jordan did. You see what I'm saying? So they're lining these two players up with the same, almost basically the same careers.
Michael Jordan, he was 0-6 versus Larry Bird in the playoffs. Never beat Bird in the playoffs.
Yeah, he was 0-6, but against the Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons, he finally got past that team on Memorial Day. And think about last year when Jimmy Butler struggled against the Celtics. On Memorial Day, he finally gets past the Celtics. So and he does it on the 23-day numerology in the year 23. So that's what I'm saying. I think there's something to this. I think the reason we should look into it because it's gonna help us solve. That's just something you should consider because it's gonna help us solve who's gonna win the championship this year.
Yeah, I get that. Like, yeah, you decode stuff, and like that's what we do.
Yeah, we gotta keep that in mind. See how.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not gonna kill you to measure. It's not gonna hurt you to kill. It's not gonna hurt you to measure from Jordan's birthday
I
to.
do look into stuff like I'm nonstop decoding. I'm always looking into stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, as far as like us taking a firm stance on him being Michael Jordan's son, like I just don't think that's wise. I think like people from a distance who especially don't know anything about gematria yet, if you get to saying that to them, they're gonna think you crazy.
Well, they think I'm crazy even if I show stuff like today the Astros won the World Series. Okay, so how can I prove to people, right? Because if you don't have common sense, you're not gonna never see this stuff. How can I prove to people that the Astros winning the World Series on the anniversary of the Astro World tragedy is really connected besides the numbers?
All right, think about this. All right, let's say we got somebody, we dealing with somebody that has never dealt with gematria before, and like they just don't know anything about numbers, and like off the bat we telling them that the game is rigged. Okay, they say, damn, how is it rigged? They rigged it through the numbers. Like if somebody hear that, they like. Well,
no, that's not a good breakdown. You have to show them how they're doing it.
No. I'm saying before you even get to the breakdown, you're going to break it down to them. But I'm just saying, like off the surface, as soon as you say that to somebody who's not in the know,
well, you can. That's what I'm saying. You gotta try a different approach.
That the game is. I can prove that these professional basketball games, these professional leagues, are rigged.
Yes, and then the way you introduce the information is with examples and a different approach. You can't say through the numbers because they're gonna look at you like, what numbers, man? That sounds stupid.
No, I'm not saying like literally like that's what I'm saying to them.
How was it? Like, the thing is, how was this information introduced to us?
That's ultimately what we're doing. Like when I've been doing this for some years now, and whenever I encounter somebody that's not in the know, and I'm trying to break it down to them, that's ultimately what the rundown is.
But let me explain to you, Topsy, how you.
I'm saying. I'm just saying like the gist of that encounterment is me telling them that professional sports are rigged and they do it through the numbers.
Okay, so let me explain. Let me just
that's like you really have to be versed in this. Like if you're trying to like
okay, but let me explain to you how I would do it. You have to take a different approach. The way we learned it. Well, I don't know how you learned it, but the way I learned it,
I learned from you. I learned from Zach. Y'all, like when I was introduced to this, first video I seen was of Zach, and then like some months later, I eventually seen you. But y'all two are like the ones that I go to or have went to like when I was new to this. You know what I'm saying?
But I think the best thing to do is you have to show.
I don't think y'all should be beefing, man. Like I get it. Like it's been pushed to that point. And I don't even like to go to that. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all two pillars in this community, like the Jesuits laugh at that because y'all beefing. You know what I'm saying? Like if y'all together, but like.
But the thing is, I can't make somebody like me and respect me. I can't. You see, I respect you because you respect me, Topsy. I can't force you to respect me. The day that you choose to disrespect me, I can't deal with you anymore. I'm only gonna respect you as long as you respect me. But let me just get my point across before I forget.
Yeah.
The thing is, the way I will introduce this information is showing people the undeniable coincidences before you get into the numbers. Don't use the word numbers until you talk about the coincidences first. So that's what I'm saying. You got to take a different approach. So the first coincidence, you have to think about all the coincidences. You can use any example you like. Like you could use the Kobe Bryant, the September 11th, but go with the coincidences first, because then that was gonna make a person think like, wait, there's no way that's a coincidence. Like my favorite one, the first thing I say is Chadwick Boseman played Jackie Robinson in the film 42, died on Jackie Robinson Day at the age of 42. No gematria, no numbers. Well, the only number I used was 42, but no gematria, and I didn't talk about anything that they can't understand. Chadwick Boseman played Jackie Robinson, died at the age of 42 on Jackie Robinson Day. Somebody hears that, they're going to say, what the fuck? Are you serious? And then that's when you go, yes. And when you write out the word Jackie, and then that's when you introduce the numbers. Look, you add up the word Jackie, it equals 42. And Jackie wore the number 42 as a player. And then that number also has other meanings. And then that's when you go and you got to do baby steps with them. But don't just introduce gematria right away. Don't say, def equals 213 and say they're going to go crazy.
Hell no. I don't do that. Like, I always go to the strong point. And one of my go-tos is always Kobe's last time wearing the number 8, he scored 24 points. What are the odds of that?
Say it again.
Kobe's last time wearing the number 8, he scored 24 points. The
thing is that's pretty good, but then people would say that's a coincidence. You need something.
Coincidence? How? His last time ever wearing number 8, he just so happens to wear.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence to us. It's not a coincidence to us. I'm talking about a person listening to this for the first.
That's a strong point, and like each time I've mentioned that to somebody, they be like, "Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy." Or when I say,
but you need better examples. You need better examples. You need an undeniable evidence. You need.
I'm not speaking like when I say like how do you get people to wake up? I'm not speaking from my perspective. I'm just speaking overall in general, because I see Zach's encounters when he's speaking to people through their bullhorn and people don't budge, and I've seen your encounters with the same thing, and just people in general, like who like.
Did you see my video when I went down to Yankee Stadium a few years back?
Yeah, I seen all of them.
I got one person to really listen. And the reason he listens is because I kept it real simple with him. I said, and one of the best examples. Speaking of that guy that you keep mentioning, I don't want to hear his name too much, but that guy he gave us a good example when I was starting off in this work. He was showing us the baseball stuff, like how to 27, and like when you write out the word baseball equals 54, 27, 162, and 54, and how there's 162 games in a season, 54 outs. That's a great example to start with, and that was the example I was showing the people at the Yankee Stadium when I was telling them how baseball is rigged and how much the number 27 mattered to baseball, how each team has to get 27 outs, and how the Yankees have 27 championships. And the guy was listening. He was like, wait, MLB equals 27? So what does that mean? The Yankees are not going to win again? So he started asking questions. But at first, he was trying to treat me like I was a joke, like I was a weirdo conspiracy guy. But then when I started using the simplest examples, he started listening. And I think even though it's not a coincidence to me that Kobe scored 24 in his the last game wearing number 8, that's not a coincidence. But somebody that's not new to the work might listen to that and say, well, if he would have scored 8, you would have been like, he scored 8 the last day he scored 8.
But
you know,
he scored 24.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If he would have scored 8, you would have been like, the last time he wore 8, he scored 8. You see, so you need a better example to that somebody cannot deny as a coincidence, because they're gonna use that word. So you need an example that's gonna eliminate the word coincidence, like Chadwick Boseman. Like 9/11, if you want, there are a lot of examples that somebody cannot use the word coincidence. If they use the word coincidence, just stop the conversation and walk away.
421 and royalty. What's with that? Queen born on 421. Kings won their only championship on 421. Prince dies on 421.
All right, see, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
How can that be a coincidence?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. Like the Jets winning their only Super Bowl in 1968, the year that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of examples.
The Twin Towers was constructed.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You have a lot of examples. Or you can go with the 42 stuff. I like the 42 stuff. Show all the 42s and how it's used through Black history. It depends who your audience is, but I get what you're saying though, man. It's hard. This stuff is hard because what the media is doing too. The media is making a mockery out of us, and just historically, conspiracy theories are just has been mocked and mistreated.
That's what I'm saying. Like when we doing this stuff, it's like I feel like we really have to be strict on like what it is that we're speaking to people. Like it's okay for us to like delve into if Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's father, but to actually like bring that to the forefront of a conversation, like when you're trying to like get somebody to wake up, I think that's the wrong.
No, but the thing is, I like me personally, I'm not using that to try to wake people up. I'm using that to try to see what they're doing this year. I could care less if he is related to Michael Jordan, to be honest. But I'm trying to figure out why is he, in the NBA Finals in the year 23. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, it could be about Spoelstra though, man. He spent so long with the Heat, man, before he actually became the coach. And then like he has the Jesuit background. He's been there so many times. He's like he's the common denominator. You had Jimmy go with him, LeBron go with him, D Wade go with him, Shaq go with him. Oh, not Shaq, but yeah, like all of those guys done been there. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you something. Let's say, because remember how Nate Thurman died 27 days after LeBron scored 27?
Yeah.
Let's say something happens to Michael Jordan after Jimmy Butler wins the NBA championship. You see what I'm saying? We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen after the finals is over. Michael Jordan might turn up missing or something. He might get injured. He might burn his hand or something. We don't know. That's why we have to investigate. We have to see what they're doing because Nate Thurman didn't die but after the NBA finals ended. And that's what we saw. Like, look at that. LeBron scores 27, and then 27 days later, this guy dies. The guy who we claim is his father. Like that's the things we have to look at, and that's suspicious to me.
Never stop decoding. Never stop decoding. We always look into stuff. Like I agree with that. Yeah. My point is I don't think that's the that shouldn't be the topic of conversation. Like whenever we trying to wake people up, like if that's within the community and we trying to figure out if he is, and we doing research, I'm cool with that. I'm with that. Well, I just don't think like that's something that we should be telling people. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we should just like strictly stick to the things that are the most evident.
Yeah, the simple. Yeah, keep it simple and then introduce the complicated stuff. I agree.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, man. Yeah. I appreciate you taking my call, man. I don't want to hold it up. I know somebody else probably want to get in.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the call, man.
Appreciate you, Ark.
Yeah, I agree with Topsy, man. Certain things you don't want to introduce because people will dismiss it, but the reason I'm researching Jimmy Butler and Michael Jordan is because I do think there are something they are maybe connected through DNA, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on in this NBA Finals. Why is Jimmy Butler in the finals? But I think we can end it there. Shout out to everybody. If you guys want sports information, I always leave a link in the comment section. If you guys made over $1,000 and you haven't sent me a tip, I don't know what to tell you, man. You guys are pathetic, really. I don't care that you're supporting me for $10. This shit is like, that's why, when I say like stuff like I want to pound the pavement and I don't have the money to buy a camera, I'm like, how is it I don't have the money to buy a camera when I'm helping so many people win in sports betting? It's just crazy. I should have one of the best cameras, best microphones out there if I'm making people thousands of dollars. So a lot of you who claim that I'm begging, you guys are just pieces of shit. Because what am I begging? What am I asking for tips for? I'm asking the tips so I can advance the work, so I can take this to the next level. Like I'm planning to go to the Barclays Center on November 3rd to talk about Tina Turner. But how can I do that when I don't have the equipment to do it? That's what I'm saying. Like whatever. Yeah, I'm making people thousands of dollars. I got $3,500 today, and who knows if he remembers to send the tip or not. But whatever. The cameras and microphones are not free. I can't go into Best Buy and say I want a microphone. If you guys want me to pound paper, you want to take this to the next level, how are we gonna do it without funds and revenue? How? It's not like I'm making promises and not keeping it. Whenever I come make a video and asking people for money, I'll always follow through, always. But I'll leave it there. Enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. Thank you for your support. And the NBA Finals pick will be only on Patreon. Unfortunately, you guys will hear about it after the fact. Enjoy your Tuesday, and I'll see you guys next time.